Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
Alrighty, folks, always excited to have legends on the show with us, and we have got one of the greatest guitarists and one of the greatest rock bands of all time, Mark Farner from the American band. Good morning. How are you, Grand Funk Railroad?
Good morning. How you doing, Brother Stephen? I'm proud to be sucking air this morning.
Shoot, I'll tell you what I'm proud of. I'm proud this COVID stuff is going away, and you're fixing to get back out on the road and play some music.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you what, and the audiences are ready for us. I'll tell you that, brother.
I'm one of them, man. I'll guarantee it. You have, gosh almighty. Now, how long is Graham? How long y'all been playing?
Since 1969, I've been out there, as my solo band. The other two guys go out as Grand Funk because we got a divorce.
Right. That happens sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have that. Yeah. But proud to be playing, doing the songs in the same keys, and people are eating it up because they're tired of being locked up. And now it's like a whole new audience. It's like back when we started in 1969, Brother Stephen.
Well, that's the thing, when you're now wait a minute, you said you're doing the songs in the same keys?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. That's saying a whole lot,
Yeah.
man. I guarantee it over the years, because everybody's voices changes over the years, and always drop it a key or two,
Yeah. Well, you hit that stage and the emotion, you get hit with waves of emotion from people that are your fans, and they're expecting you to do that song just like that record. And that's what my ambition is, to give them the song just like they heard it on the record, just like they went and bought at the record store, brother.
Hey, I know, man, and you are definitely a professional from the get-go. And like I said, I don't know all the songs that I've sung along with you. Of course, I change the words a little bit because I get mixed up. Some people do that, You ever see them out in the audience singing along and they get the words wrong? You're like, wait a minute, that ain't the right words, but it's all good. Have you been working on any new material being the COVID shut down?
Oh, yeah. I've been working with Mark Slaughter down in Columbia, Tennessee, and doing re-recording some of my old hits, but we have written some new songs that I'm very proud of. They got a lot of love in them, Brother Stephen, and people needs the love right now. I think our country really needs to be reminded of who we are as Americans, and not go buy into any of this splitting of, this group and that group or whatever. We all got to identify as Americans and fall back on the love that we have in our heart and pull our heads out of whatever's keeping us away from that.
Hey, I agree with you, folks. We're talking to Mark Farner. Go to markfarner.com, and everything is there. And he's fixing to get back out on the road and tour. So yeah, I know y'all gonna want to see that. But yeah, I agree with you, man. It seems like that people are divided. But I'm gonna tell you, I really think music brings everybody together, because it don't matter, where you're at on as far as your policies, or when it comes down to music, everybody kind of gets in the same frame of mind.
Yes, sir. And when we played here in Florida the other night at a casino, and I said, got on the stage, I said, we're not going to identify as anything but Americans tonight. No Republicans or Democrats or any of that other thing or whatever. We're leaving all that outside the door. And the only thing we're allowing in the auditorium tonight is Americans with some love on their heart, and Americans that want to party, they want to listen to some classic rock music and be entertained. And then we always, before we do, I'm getting closer to my home, I always dedicate it to our troops, brother, because that's a good bunch right there. And for people that believes in praying, that's a good bunch to pray for.
Yeah.
And there's always a lot of veterans in the audience. And, we just have a rocking good time. And that's what I'm out to give them.
Mark, a lot of people don't remember too. You guys were very vocal about being against the Vietnam War, but you always made it very clear you were always supportive of our veterans and of our troops.
Absolutely. Even to the point of my wife, Lesia, and I, who we've been married 44 years, but we just released that DVD, Mark Farner's American Band from Chile with Love, and $3 from each of the DVDs that sell for $14.99. Each gets a donation of $3 to Veterans Support Foundation, and I really believe in this group of veterans. It's guys that don't take a cent for doing what they do, but they're helping veterans, our brothers and sisters that come back from war-torn areas, and they get them in off the street, get them some job training, get them some job placement, and get them back into being Americans again.
Oh yeah.
And I really love these guys because they are veterans helping veterans. They know what it's all about, and we are proud to support them. We've given them a few $1,000s from the sales, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank the people that are listening right now. If you bought Mark Farner's American Band from Chile with Love, you know how we're rocking. And you know right now how much I appreciate you helping us support our veterans.
And if you haven't, just go to markfarner.com and you can get right there. You can get everything you want. You've got it all right there, and y'all need to check it out because he's got a lot of stuff going on with that. And
yeah,
so
all made in the USA, brother Stephen.
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Stuff is all made in the USA. I won't put my name on anything foreign.
I respect you for that. I'll guarantee it. And like I say, these veterans, I am with you on that 100%. We do a lot with the veterans here in our area, and I know quite a few of them. I love just to stand around and listen to them talk to each other about, when they were in the military and some of the stuff that they got into. And I couldn't imagine being in their position and some of the stuff that they got involved with people trying to kill you. I mean, honestly, I just could not imagine what they went through, and I don't think people really realize what they have sacrificed for our freedom.
Right, brother.
And then
that's exactly right.
Yeah, they get put on the back burner. Them and God. I think people forgot God, but I think he's waking up a little bit, getting a little bit aggravated at what's going on out there.
Yeah, I heard all of that, brother. Yeah, every bit of it. We got to turn in to our hearts because we come from a nice place, a very special place, and because of the blood of Jesus Christ, we're going back to that place. I guarantee you.
Well, now I was looking at your band. You got some serious players, man. I mean, honestly, that you've got backing you up, and you've got this young boy playing the drums. Now, how old is this kid?
That young boy is 62.
62 and still playing, man.
Yeah. He played with James Brown. I met them back when we did a street festival in Montgomery, Alabama.
Right.
The lineup was War, Grand Funk, and James Brown. And I met Hubert Crawford back then. And my son Jason was on the road with us. And he said, Dad, I think you and Hubert's going to be playing music someday.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, a couple of years later, Hubert was in the band, and he's been here ever since.
Wow. Man, you have played with some of the great, and you are one of the greats. That's the thing about it you don't think about. We get a lot of folks on here like you, like, well, I got to play with this guy, but you're as much of the legend as anybody out there, and I think it's kind of funny to hear people talk, oh, I played with this guy and that guy, but, I mean, you're right there with it. I can't wait. I got a buddy of mine that said he's probably going to bring you into Atlanta. I don't know if you know Steve Moore with RCS Production, but I talked to him last week, and he said that talking about bringing y'all into Atlanta, I'm really excited about that. So,
yeah, me too. I love Atlanta. I love playing in the South, and I love Atlanta because, that first Atlanta Pop Festival in 1969, that really gave us a boot. And because part of the 185,000 people that were there, they wasn't all from Atlanta.
Right.
They was from all over the United States, and man, the word went out. We didn't even have a record deal when we played that. We were just a garage band from Flint, Michigan.
Right.
And the rest is history, brother?
You know, that's the thing. Of course, I knew Alex Cooley, and he actually built a house here in the late '70s, and that's why I got to know him because my dad built the house on that. But you know, the Atlanta Pop Festival was actually a success. They made money, and they were so ashamed that they made money off of the music. You know, that they turned around and did another one, then give all the money away. But you know, he was always upset because of you know, everybody always give the credit to Woodstock. But actually, the Atlantic Pop Festival was a total success, and they had a lot of problems with Woodstock. But he said it's always because the North looked down on the South at that time, and we were a bunch of inbred rednecks. But you know, that's something he never got over.
Man. No, man, I'm telling you what, that Atlanta Pop Festival and the second Atlanta Pop, both of them festivals, brother. You know, we went on at 12 noon. In 1969,
right,
12 noon, it was 110 degrees in the shade, son. And we hit that stage. We hit that stage, and that was the first time I got to see how many people there was up there. Because when you're down on the ground and kind of looking out, you couldn't tell how many people. You just knew there was a whole lot of people out there.
Right.
But when I got up on the deck, and I looked out over the top of that audience, I went, oh my God. It was, you know, rock band, we was 20-year-old kids, man.
Right.
So that really, it sticks in my mind. And that's one of the highlights. It's if not the, you know, we played Shea Stadium and sold it out faster than the Beatles too. But that first Atlanta Pop Festival, man, that is my highlight of my life.
Well, I could not imagine being a garage band and then walking out there with, I don't know how many people were there. I mean, there was thousands of people there. I mean, that had, can you remember what was going through your mind when you're like, oh, good Lord, what have I got myself into?
Yeah, because what happened on the way down there, brother Stephen, we flipped the U-Haul trailer that had all our equipment in it. The guy that was driving had been up all night driving, and I was riding shotgun, and I, you know, I was snoozing, and I looked up, and I see this sign that says I-75, and it's got an arrow to the right. And this is in 1969. I-75 was not finished, so you had to take some side roads, right. And we was on them. And so I said, hey, I-75 goes to the right. Man, he, without even thinking, he just cranked that thing to the right and flipped that trailer. All of our equipment got, you wouldn't believe it. The transformers were torn right from the chassis of them amplifiers.
Right.
All the wires was torn loose. And when we got to Atlanta, all the roadies from these other bands that were there pitched in with our guys, and they were soldering things back together, duct taping, of course, and they just set the transformers on top of the amp boxes, and we were just praying that everything would work, and it did. So that was what was going through my mind. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, oh, Lord, please let this stuff work. And then when I looked out over that audience, I was, you know, you got to pee like a racehorse sometime, and that was one of them times, buddy.
That's the first time I ever heard that. I'm gonna steal that from you if you don't care. Yeah, Lord of mercy. Basically, is that actually where you got your start in your career? Is that where you got signed? Is the Atlanta Pop Festival back in '69?
That's it, brother. We didn't have a record company. We went down there. The attorneys that were doing the legal work for that festival were out of New York City, mm-hmm. and they just happened to be the attorneys that Terry Knight, our manager, was using. Mm-hmm. So they made a deal, and we got on there. We played for free, and I think they took a reduction in their attorney fees.
Right.
But you know, that was it, man. That was, you talk about out of the box. That was the first gig.
Well, there was a lot that come out. Like Billy Joel, you know, I reckon he played that too, and he didn't have any material whatsoever. They said he did a complete Joe Cocker cover for his show that he did, and then they signed him after that. There were so many people come out of that. That's just... And, you know, I'd like to see that happen today. I mean, you know, you have all these festivals, but I'd love to see something like that where you get these, just like y'all, these garage bands, it's this really good that nobody's ever heard of, and just put them on the stage and say, here, look what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, America's Got Talent, buddy.
Yeah, I guarantee it. So now you're touring right now. You're in Florida?
Yes, sir.
So
yep, we're headed to Niagara, New York,
right.
this coming weekend. But right now, Lesia and we're soaking up a little sunshine. It was, I think it was 12 below the night that, we woke up and left Michigan. But it's Michigan, and that's what happens in the winter in Michigan. It's cold.
I know that, but there's a lot of folks up there going to Florida right now. We're getting people moving down there as hard as they can. They're like, man, I'm getting out of this cold weather. But anyway, folks, we're talking to Mark Farner, markfarner.com, back out on the road. Anything else we need to touch base on? You got something, Ed? You look like you was going to say something important over there.
No, just Graham Funk. I'm watching him and listening to it talking. I'm always saying how whenever we bring these great performers on, the passion you see, and even talking to Mark now, you just hear the passion in his voice for what he's doing. And I just hope you keep rocking on for another 20 or 30 years, bud.
God bless you. Thank you for that. I appreciate the encouragement.
I'm going to tell you what I appreciate, Mark. Just people like you that has been out there, done that, and been through it, and still a normal, humble person that appreciates where they come from and what they're doing, and they're fans like you do, man. That means a lot to the fans and people like me.
Thank you, Brother Stephen. I appreciate that. And that's encouraging for me to hear it, because it's truly who I am.
Right.
And I think we with an attitude of gratitude, you can go far.
Yep. Well, I guarantee it. We'll see you in Atlanta when you come down there. Hopefully we get all that put together, but I'm all excited about that.
Right.
Mark, anything else you got going on, you just let us know. markfarner.com. Go there, buy T-shirts, buy all this stuff that he's got going on. Support him and follow him and get him out there, man. He is still rolling along. COVID's over with. It's time to rock and roll, right?
Thank you, brothers. Appreciate it.
Man, you take care.
Have a great one. Well, folks,
All
today.
right, if I don't see you,
All right, man.
if I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
There you go. That'll work.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.